Not everything is hidden from you. Some things wait. They linger in the wings of your life like unopened letters, sealed until the moment your soul ripens enough to read them. You may have wondered why what you seek hasn't shown up yet. The answer is far deeper than misfortune or delay. The truth is this: what you desire doesn't manifest through demand, but through alignment. The unseen works of the universe are activated not by striving, but by resonance. Just as a flower unfolds only when the sun warms the soil beneath it, revelations arrive when your spirit reaches a frequency that can sustain their weight. You may feel you've done the work. Meditations, affirmations, visualizations, all the tools of awakening. Yet there's a stage beyond practice: readiness. Until your being holds a stillness that can carry the power of the truth you're meant to see, the universe waits, not in punishment, but in precision. There are laws, ancient and exact, that shape this reality. They do not move with haste. Readiness isn't about being worthy, it's about becoming resonant. The silence you mistake for absence is actually a sacred pause, aligning conditions beyond your awareness. In this space, your transformation isn't delayed, it's being prepared. You have already passed through many such gates without realizing it. Moments where clarity emerged, not because you chased it, but because something within you quietly shifted. This is how the universe delivers its gifts, not when you want them, but when you become the person who can hold them. You do not see the truth until you become the one who can carry it. And in that becoming, an invisible threshold is crossed, a gate that never opens to force, only to harmony. Desire is often mistaken for readiness. The heart wants, and the mind rushes to gather. But the universe does not respond to urgency. It responds to vibration. Beneath your longing lies a signal, a signature frequency that speaks louder than words. When that signal is still coded in fear, in doubt, in fragmentation, what you want cannot find you. Not because it isn't yours, but because it cannot hear your call. Manifestation isn't the result of want, but of internal coherence. The moment your desire no longer arises from lack, but from embodied truth, it begins to move toward you. There's an energetic intelligence that knows what your intellect cannot grasp. It arranges symbols, timing, signs, an invisible language meant for your soul, not your logic. It doesn't speak in announcements. It speaks in repetition, synchronicity, the soft pull of intuition. The number that catches your eye every day, the words you overhear 3 times in a week, the sense that something unseen is tugging you gently in a direction you can't explain. These are not accidents, they are invitations. But the message can only land when your internal noise fades enough to receive it. You are not waiting for a sign. You are being shaped into the person who recognizes it. Imagine yourself as a tuning fork. When you vibrate at the wrong pitch, the music of your life sounds discordant. But when you reach harmonic alignment, everything resonates. Doors open, patterns make sense, answers arrive before questions. The symphony was always playing, but your readiness determines whether you hear it. Your reality does not change because you demand it to. It changes because your frequency becomes undeniable. Every transformation passes through a gate, and that gate is guarded from within, not by an external force, but by a quiet, ancient presence embedded in your consciousness, an inner sentinel who discerns not your desire, but your vibrational truth. This gatekeeper doesn't respond to intention alone, it responds to embodiment. It recognizes whether your energy matches what you claim to seek. If the resonance is off, if you're still holding on to fear, control, or performance, the gate remains closed, not to punish you, but to protect the integrity of what lies beyond. Power accessed prematurely does not liberate, it distorts. This is the sacred precision of spiritual law. Access is granted not at the point of yearning, but at the point of coherence. This invisible gate opens without sound, without spectacle. It does not yield to logic, nor to force. It responds to the subtle shift within when the self that seeks dissolves into the self that sees. Transformation does not knock. It emerges when you have become the version of yourself who no longer needs the door to be open because you have merged with what is on the other side. It's the paradox at the heart of readiness. You no longer chase the truth because you have aligned with it. You are no longer the seeker outside the gate. You are the one the gate was waiting to recognize. And at that moment, resistance dissolves like mist at sunrise. The truths you once reached for now arrive without effort, because you've tuned your being to their frequency. The wisdom traditions speak of this as the alchemy of becoming, the process by which your inner world refines itself until it can hold the weight of sacred knowledge. The key lies not in the lock, but in the heart that seeks entry. This is more than metaphor. It is an encoded truth, reminding you that spiritual gates are never held shut by outside forces. They are thresholds of energetic maturity. Your circumstances don't change because the gate opens. Your perception changes because you walk through as a different version of yourself. The gate was never a barrier, it was a mirror. And readiness is the moment you no longer fear what you see in the reflection. Stillness is not the absence of movement, it is the presence of preparation. When your desire has been set into motion, but the results remain unseen, you have entered what sages called the sacred pause. This pause is not emptiness, it is incubation. Like the silence between lightning and thunder, this space contains power. Beneath the surface, threads are weaving, circumstances are aligning, people are being positioned, resources rearranged, and timelines orchestrated with a precision the conscious mind cannot comprehend. In this gap between asking and arrival, the universe is not idle, it is exacting, and the most profound act you can perform in this pause is trust. Impatience is the illusion that nothing is happening. It tempts you to interfere, to dig up the seed to check if it's growing. But manifestation, like nature, has its own rhythm. The acorn doesn't rush to become an oak. It rests in the dark, held by soil, nourished by silence. In the same way, your manifestations require darkness before the bloom. The sacred pause is where your inner alignment is refined and tested, not to prove your worthiness, but to stabilize your readiness. If you rush this process, the structure of your manifestation lacks foundation. What is birthed prematurely cannot sustain its own weight. Surrender in this space is not giving up, it is giving over. You move from control to cooperation. You stop grasping and begin receiving. This energetic shift does not mean you stop acting, but your actions are no longer frantic. They are fluid. You no longer try to make things happen. You let them happen through you. You maintain your frequency, not by effort, but by attunement. And in that attunement, what once eluded you begins to take form. Like mist crystallizing into morning dew, your desire reveals itself, not because you chased it, but because you held steady while it gathered shape. The pause was never a delay. It was an antechamber of precision, preparing you to receive exactly what was already yours. There is a moment when the stars align, not because the cosmos changed, but because you did. What was once veiled becomes obvious. What confused you now feels like memory. The revelation isn't new. You simply became the one who could finally see it. Readiness is the unseen curriculum of the soul. Every hardship, every silence, every unanswered call has been sculpting your lens. And when that lens sharpens, the truth that was always present comes into view. You do not find revelation, you grow into it. The universe has never withheld wisdom, never hidden power, never denied destiny. It has only waited, watched, whispered, and when your vibration rose to meet the vision it held for you all along, it opened its vault without resistance. There was never a moment you were forgotten. There were only moments you were being prepared. So now you see, the delays were not detours, the silence was not absence, the stillness was not failure. Every step was calibration, every breath a quiet rite of passage. You weren't waiting for the universe to deliver. The universe was waiting for you to arrive.